Hello, welcome to Abroad.
What's up?
We went to Ibiza.
We did. Today was Ibiza. Yesterday was Motril. So we thought we'd talk a little bit about both as we are recuperating, or actually we're winding down the night after
We're tired.
Spending the day in Ibiza in the sports bar on the ship. So if we don't have the normal energy, it's because we're a little tuckered out.
We're tired.
Yeah. So what do you think? We'll start with Motril. Motril was yesterday. I thought it was a very pleasant day. Probably won't be a place that I would search out to go back to on a must-do list. Small city, about 60,000 people, but we had a really pleasant day. Did a little bit of walking around and some local sightseeing. Went to a couple of churches. Had a very nice older local couple.
We were not lost, but we didn't know where we were or where we were really headed. We had a map out, the map they give you when you get off the cruise ship. We had this map out. I'm holding my hand like you can see. I'm holding a map. Got the map out, and we're standing at the corner, and we're like, okay, well, and we're just standing there.
And we've been walking around for a little while.
Yeah. And this little couple, they were short. They
Probably in their late 70s.
They were walking behind us, and he touches me on my shoulder, and I thought he was just trying to tell me get out of the way because we were blocking the cross. And of course, I didn't understand a word that he said, and he didn't understand me. So I could understand he was trying to help me. And so I pointed to the map, and I pointed to the name. It was a cathedral that we were trying to find. And he was like, oh. And so he said, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, so this way and that way. And he was like, she didn't get it at all. So he said something again. His wife says something. They talk, and he does this to her, and she takes off walking for us to follow her, and she takes us to the cathedral.
Yeah, just walks us right to the front door.
To it. And he goes on home, I guess. They lived on that street. I don't know. He just curved on off and went into a door.
Yeah, just trusted her with us.
Yes, wife, you go with these strangers and show them where to go. And she did. No English, we didn't speak any Spanish. And it was just very nice. It was very helpful.
Yes,
actually.
It was.
Yeah.
It was very helpful. And
Yeah.
it was a very
nice experience.
beautiful church, as all of our experiences have been with those.
They've been very pretty.
So we did make a decision impacting our budget based on the experience in Motril. We could only get Wi-Fi if we were near the information center. So as soon as we walked more than 20 yards away, no Wi-Fi.
So you don't have anything.
And there was no Wi-Fi through the city, not at restaurants or bars. At least
we could access.
Yeah, at least that we could access. So we did make the decision to purchase an international data plan so we can use maps whenever we need to, GPS, those sorts of things. Came in very helpful today, actually.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it did. It really did.
I think it was a good decision. But to wrap up Motril, we after we went to the church, we kind of cafe hopped for the rest of the day.
And so we went and had coffee at one cafe, and Daryl had a cola, and then we walked around, and then we went to another one, and we both got beers, and they just brought us out free food.
Yeah, just brought us a plate of food.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, thank you.
Oh, okay.
And she just smiled and sat it down in front of us. She didn't really understand us that well.
She didn't understand us at all.
So it was potato chips with olive oil drizzled on it and fresh sardines, which doesn't sound entirely appetizing.
I ate some of the chips, and they were good.
But it was good, and then a bowl of olives.
Which I did eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then that was the second cafe, and then we walked to a third cafe and had more beers.
More beer.
Met
and they
with
brought food.
Yeah, met with a person from the ship that was also there having a beer. So we sat down and talked for a couple of hours, and about halfway through, they just brought us a plate of rice with calamari and a couple of pieces of bread, and just sat it down in front of us.
And gave it to us, and we were like, because the guy was there before us, did they just bring free food out to everybody?
And we're like, that's the second time.
No, they don't just bring free food. It's like, that's the second place we've gotten free food.
Yeah. So I don't know.
anyway.
We must look hungry, maybe.
I don't know.
So Motril, again, great experience. Certainly, if you get the opportunity to visit, because it's on the way to somewhere, I would do it. but probably won't be a place that we look to go back to.
They did have a lot of fresh fruit markets and vegetables and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, so that was pretty neat.
And it was holiday. It was All Saints Day. It was the
That's
day
true.
after Halloween, and so a lot of places were closed. So that actually may have influenced our experience a little bit.
Yeah, there was more trash on the street.
Yeah, it's kind of dirty.
It was kind of trashy. Not everywhere. We went through the gardens, which were beautiful, and it was the Americas.
The Park of the Americas. So they have imported more than 40 species of trees from across North America, Central America, Latin America, and South America, and put it in this park.
It was beautiful. And they had a succulent garden as well, which I really liked. So that was nice.
Yes, that was nice. It was very pleasant.
Yeah.
So then today was Ibiza. We got
It's
here.
hard to guess the temperature, too, because they'll say it's 68 degrees. Well, it's
68 and cloudy is completely different than 68 and sunny.
Well, and it's different than 68 at home.
Yes,
The
for
68 here is hot. I mean, I guess we're closer to the sun, but it's hotter. I mean, 68 is 68, you would think, right? But it just feels hotter.
Look at this. This is
He's
68.
sunburned. He's been putting moisturizer on because he's peeling. Okay, so that was Motril.
Yes, and then so today was Ibiza, definitely on a return list. I can't wait to get back here. This has a reputation of definitely being a party town. We didn't get to experience that part of it, and that's the part that I want to come back and experience.
We had to be back on the boat by 8:30.
Right, but it was just an incredible day from beginning to end.
It was.
So why don't you what was the first thing? We got off the ship. We took a taxi. Oh, we found an organic pharmacy that we've been looking for.
Right.
And
Mama
so,
needs medicine.
Right. So we had to stop there and pick up some meds. Lingered a little while. It was in a kind of a cool little area.
Yeah.
So we lingered a little bit. And then we got an Uber from there to Dalt, D-A-L-T, Villa, V-I-L-A. And it's a UNESCO certified or designated World Heritage Site. And it's just an incredible, I can't wait for you all to see the video that Penny puts together. Because
It was really cool.
if I remember correctly, doing a little bit of research, I think it was built in 1666. But it was built as a fort and a city. It had a cathedral in it that is still used today that was just absolutely gorgeous. There was a little bit of an incident that we'll talk about in a minute. But the whole site was just incredible. So basically you get to the site and there's a drawbridge that allows you to ascend into the village. And it's this community that people live in today as a modern community. There's restaurants, bars,
hotels,
shopping,
There's
hotels.
a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, all inside this village
Fort.
that is surrounded
Yeah.
by walls that are, 15, 20 feet tall.
And it's so old, cobblestone, and it's all uphill.
Yes.
It was a lot of uphill.
It was a lot of uphill.
A lot of people
But
didn't make it all the way to the top.
so gorgeous. Again, the pictures will probably not do it justice. So we did make our way to the top. We had actually stopped right before we started at a tapas bar at the entrance, essentially.
Oh yeah.
Called La Esquinas, I think, and had just some incredible food, some empanadas, some tacos.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we have? 3 things: empanadas, tacos, and a cheese platter that had 3 different cheeses with some fig jam and some walnuts.
He's all about the jams.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. So we got nourished, had a pitcher of sangria, which is becoming a theme,
Yeah.
and then started making our way up. And so we had made the decision that we weren't going to take a lot of pictures on the way up, and we were going to take our pictures as we came down.
Because we wanted to make sure we got up to the top and had time, because we started a little bit later because we had our medical stop, and then so when we got there, they were like, "Oh, it's gonna. You want to hold it?
No. Oh,
Well, you don't put it on me. You
Wow.
can just put it on you." But I don't even know what I was saying now.
well, we wanted to get to the top to make sure we had
Oh
enough
yeah, that's
time.
why we didn't do pictures as much. on the way up, which would have been beautiful. But I wanted to get the sunset. We got up there, and it was gorgeous. Perfect timing for the sunset.
Romantic,
It was.
gorgeous, historical, just a great
It's so
experience.
neat to just stand there, touch the walls, and
We saw I don't know what they were exactly, but they looked like prison cells that
they
were
did.
used. We saw old cannons and cannonballs that were used. So it was just an incredible sight. And to me, what the most incredible thing was is that people lived there. They
Oh, yeah.
shop there.
Yeah.
I was like the people. We would see
it's
people.
not just a tourist place. People actually just live there
Right.
and work.
And people were walking to their cars that you could tell were locals, just had a clothing bag. Like they had just gone shopping at a clothing store. And so you've got all of this incredibly historic area that also is very modern and people just living in it on a day-to-day basis, which would be amazing to live
And
in.
it was perfectly clean. It was
Yeah.
incredibly clean.
So we got some incredible pictures and views from the very top, started making our way down. We're just meandering. We found the cathedral almost by accident, and Penny was like, "Oh, what's this?" And
Yeah,
we
just
looked
saw it
over
open
there.
the door and walked in it.
Yeah, and it was the cathedral, and it is just absolutely stunning, as all of these that we've been to have been. But this one, again, just incredible. The vibe, as soon as you walk in, is so reverential, and it was very much a place of solitude and peace and comfort.
It was until
Okay, so we're walking around. I'm kind of exploring. Penny's taking pictures, and I go over to this area that's a little isolated, and you can't actually see it from most of the cathedral. And there's this big rope hanging from the ceiling, and I could see that it was attached to this.
had some knot at the end. So
Yeah,
it's
like you would put your
grab me.
yeah, and pull me.
Right.
And so it was attached to this steering wheel that had bells on
It's not a
it.
steering wheel. It was the wheel of the boat. It was
Yeah.
like, it was the thing of the boat.
What is
you know.
that called?
I don't know. I don't know. It starts with S.
I can't remember, but like what
Yeah.
Gilligan would have been using on
It would be the skipper.
the minnow. Oh yeah, the skipper. So anyway, I was like, well, this is neat, and there's a rope here, and there's no signs that say "do not touch," "do not pull." And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to give it a tug and see what
not
happens.
A tug. Ding, ding, ding. In the cathedral, he's dinging this bell, and I'm across.
She's across the room, kind of.
All the way across the room. And I hear it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's out of sight. What has he done? And I run over there, and I'm like, what are you doing? Stop. And he's like, no, it doesn't say not to pull it. And I run out of the room because I'm like, I don't want to be associated with this because I can tell you don't do that. It's totally quiet. People are in there.
I couldn't tell
sitting.
you don't do that.
And I hear this woman yelling at me like,
Oh, she was cursing
She
her
came
up one side
running.
and another in Spanish.
oh yeah, the look on her face was terrible. And she thought I did it. I
And-
didn't do it.
Penny looks at me and she's like, I can't tell what she's saying. I was like, she's saying to stop.
Well, see, I had just taken pictures, and I turned my flash on because it made a better picture. It didn't say no flash, so I thought maybe she was yelling at me because it's the boat tilting. Because I had been taking pictures. Well, no, dummy. It's because your partner is in this other room dinging the bell, telling everybody it's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock.
But it wasn't.
is not
It was like
6 o'clock.
5:47.
Yeah, she's like, rah, 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 rah.
And
then
so-
he stopped, and then she just kept yelling at us, and I was like, okay.
Well, it's
okay.
really you. She kept yelling at you because she didn't see
You went and
me.
hid in the room.
I did.
He took off. She just saw me like I'm a dumbass that did it. No, I wouldn't do that in a cathedral. Don't touch stuff in a cathedral. Anyway, he does. So there was no big deal really. We avoided her and we left pretty
Yes.
quick. And then as we were walking out, Daryl's like, I'm not even going to look over
I
there.
didn't.
at her.
I didn't even look over
and
there
I
at
said,
her.
if she says anything, I'm going to say, it was him, not me.
So we were walking around, and at 6 on the dot, the bells start ringing. Penny just looks at me. I was like, "Do you think that's the ones that I was tugging on?" She's like, "I don't know," but anyway. So
Yeah, that was all that. We didn't get kicked out, but
we left before we got
we
kicked
left.
out.
Yeah, we left. We're like,
so
we're very sorry, we're walking out.
then we're just making our way back down, and we took a different path down than we took up. because again, it's a community. We were just taking different side streets and going down whatever we wanted, whatever looked interesting, and we found this lit. I mean, you talk about hole in the wall bar.
Oh,
I think maybe there were 8 seats.
well, they were bar stools up against the wall, so they weren't even like. I mean, they were seats. I've got a picture of it, but there was a. Maybe, I don't know.
You couldn't have fit more than 8 people in there comfortably.
Well, I mean, there was another couple in there when we got in there, and you have to like suck it in to let them walk past, and they're sucking it in. I mean, it's that narrow.
Yeah. So the bartender was really cool. He is I can't remember where he said he's from, but he's lived here 8 years.
Italian.
Yes, that's right. He's from Sardinia.
Italy.
That's right. He's from Sardinia. And so we met him. He talked us into ordering some sangria.
It took a lot.
My God. Yeah. I was like, okay.
And they were huge.
They were, oh my gosh, we couldn't finish them.
And filled with fruit. Yeah, well, and so we're sitting in there talking to him, and, you know, just talking and whatever. And I was like, can we take these to go? Because I just wanted to walk around some more. And I had a bunch left, so I didn't want to waste it. And he was like, sure, like, we don't have rules around here. You can do whatever you want. So anyway, he gave us, and then he filled them up for us again.
So his name was David. And so they have one more week, and then they close up for the season, and he's going to the Philippines. So he travels every winter, and he was giving us some tips about Asia and some different places. I think it's been super interesting. We've met so many people who make travel a primary part of their life.
How old did he say he was?
39.
Oh, yeah, he looked like he was like 22, 25 maybe.
Yeah. So it's been very eye-opening and comforting, I would even say, to be able to meet all of these people who make travel such an important part and a primary part of their life.
We met a couple at lunch at the Tapas Bar that just finished a 1,000-mile hike.
The Camino Way.
Right before they got on this cruise, they just finished it. And I don't know that I'm up for 1,000 miles. I'll sign up for the 500. But when they said 1,000, Daryl said, "What do you go up the trail and then you come back to make it 1,000?" And they said, "No, it started in Germany."
Yeah, that's right. They started it in Germany and then went through France and down into Spain. And I think they went to Portugal. I think they ended in Portugal. So
and Felix, this other guy that is gonna do it after he gets off here, that's where he's going to do that, and he's going up from Portugal up to France.
Yeah.
So there's this hike that we had no idea about. He had heard of it, I hadn't. But
it's called the Camino Way, and
we just keep meeting people that know about it and that have done it. It's
so
cool.
Goes through the Pyrenees Mountains in France. So anyway, it's something we're giving some consideration to. Maybe there'll be a big announcement upcoming. Who knows? So we made our way down, and I look at Uber, and I was like, it's only showing the port about
7 minutes.
No, 16-minute walk. And 7-minute Uber ride, but only a 16-minute walk. I was like, well, hell, let's just walk it.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time. Well, so 16 minutes turned into
2 hours.
No, it wasn't 2 hours. We did meander. We met a little puppy dog.
Oh, yeah, he reminds me of Boo.
Boo. Oh, Boo.
Oh, Boo. My neighbor's dog.
Yeah, so we stopped.
He's a tattoo dog. It's this dog right here. Isn't he adorable? You don't have to move it. I can't. Isn't he cute? That's him as a puppy. I say him. I didn't look at his junk, but he's adorable, and he just loved me. He was a little shy about everybody, but then he came over, he sat beside me, and then he just like laid up against me. It's like, oh, I miss
She's
him.
had a lot of people do that on the ship here.
Yeah. I said, you know.
So anyway,
I groped a cat too, so I've been missing petting animals. It's like it's been 2 weeks since I've touched an animal, and I was jonesing to be petting something fuzzy, and I found this cat. Another one ran from me, but I was probably a little too excited. This one was this big old fluffy orange and white cat, so healthy and soft, and she liked getting all rubbed on. So I got my fill of that.
So as we're walking towards the ship, it starts to become a little unclear which direction, not direction, but which path we need to take. We could see the boat. It was clear where.
After we had already gotten directions one time.
Yes.
We could see the boat.
And so we're making our way through the port, and we come basically to a dead end.
And nobody walks. They all take a shuttle. or a taxi or whatever. We are the weirdos that say we'll walk from the dock to
Right.
the city.
Frugal.
Right, we're saving money. And
So-
it's good exercise. If we're going to
Yeah.
do 500 miles, we got to get that in, right?
Right. It was a 54-minute walk. So,
After going up to the sky and
right.
back down.
Yes. So then we get some feedback that, okay, well, actually you have to go back the way you came and kind
Yeah.
of retrace your steps, go around the perimeter.
We saw some really nice boats, though.
Oh,
If you're
my
a
gosh.
single woman and you're looking for a partner that has some cash, hang out at these docks because these boats are amazing.
They are.
Maybe you'll get you a single one. I don't know, but there's this black boat that was just gorgeous.
Oh, I definitely guarantee you there's some drug kingpins parking their boats in Ibiza. So anyway, they were incredible. So we finally make our way
They're like
around.
mansions on water.
The 16-minute walk turned into about a 46-minute walk, but it was all right. We made it in time. But when we were getting on the ship, the guy said, okay, we're down to 24 left. So we were
Out of
passengers
everybody?
25 and 26.
Out of everybody on the whole ship, we were the last. We were 25.
24, right, yeah, from the
Yeah,
end.
25 from the last person.
So we might have been cutting it a little bit close.
We had plenty of time.
Yeah.
We had 15 minutes,
So
right? Wasn't it about 15 minutes?
about 15 minutes,
Yeah, that's plenty of time.
So anybody looking to go to Ibiza, definitely thumbs up.
Definitely.
You definitely
but it's
should
not
go.
cheap. It's not cheap. So
It's
don't-
not cheap, but
Now, David said that,
he said a nice hotel room is about 80 euros, which is not incredible.
no, he was talking about someplace else. I don't think he was talking about here or there.
Oh,
He said Spain was a lot. I think he was giving us Spain prices. Because he said that's... No, he said it because it's an island. It's
no, I know.
separate from Spain.
Yeah, okay.
But whatever. I don't know what he said. He gave me this big old drink. I don't know.
Right. Yes. So anyway, it would definitely be worth coming back. I'm certain that we will. Probably when we're on a bit of a splurge and we're wanting to really party down, this will be a place that we take a look at.
I don't know when that's going to happen because we're going to blow our wad for the next few years. So, but Frugal may be able to figure it out.
We can figure it out.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else to?
No, that was it. We got on the ship and
We made it,
made it back.
and we're tuckered out. We're
And
ready to call it a
we
night.
ate and we may hit the casino.
Yes.
You can't do the casino. I've had some good luck. You can't hit the casino until you get out of the port or whatever. So we weren't able to do it before dinner. But we may hit the casino and do $10 and see what happens. But I'm up.
All right. Thank you all for watching these. I know they're a commitment, and,
Yeah.
and you're not watching them all, which
You
I
don't
don't
have to
blame you.
watch
I
all
wouldn't
of it.
watch them either.
Watch what you want.
Right.
It's great. We'll see you abroad here.
Peace out.